Okay, here we are, and we're in London's West End, and it's good to be in the company of Gus G again. And Gus G's got a new solo album out, your second solo album, Brand New Revolution, out on Century Media, July the 24th. And hi Gus, how are you?
Hey, how are you? Good to be here.
It's good. And you've been quite prolific actually, so your last solo album only came out last year, I Am the Fire.
Yeah.
So why have you been so prolific? Why have you only waited a year? Because you only just finished touring the last album.
Yeah, why not? I mean, I had a lot of songs laying around anyways. I mean, when I finished the first album, I just kept on writing, especially with Jacob Bunton. We wrote a bunch of songs, so there was a lot of stuff laying around anyways. Brand New Revolution, the title track actually, was supposed to be included on the first album.
Okay.
So I wrote it a while back, you know. Anyways, but you know, we had the set list and everything figured out. So anyways, I thought, well, that's going to end up on the second record. So after a brief, you know, some brief shows in the US, I just got the band in the studio. That was actually Jay Rustin's idea. He said, we should get you in the band, play live in the studio and record stuff. That was a great idea. I'd never done that before. Yeah, we went in there, me, Marty O'Brien on bass, and Joe Nunes on drums, and Jacob was there as well, and we cut like 6 songs in 3 days. And it was a great experience, we had a lot of fun.
And I don't might surprise a lot of people, you just mentioned that's the first time you recorded in a live situation in a studio.
Yeah.
And obviously over the years you've got there with the modern technology where you can send it by email, but did you find this process a lot better, a lot more, the results were a lot better?
It was a first for me, I'd never done that before. I just wanted to try it out, see how that is. I mean, obviously I went back and did overdubs for the guitars, but we kept the drums and bass there, you know, just to get that vibe, you know. It was cool, you know. I think it, you know, it comes out of more of as a band effort throughout the record. And then, you know, that was like, it feels like it was like 2 EPs, you know, like the first 6 songs done there in LA, and then I went back to Greece and I did another session with Joe, you know, on drums, and then he came in and did another 6 songs, which, you know, later kind of like, you know, did the layers afterwards, you know.
And do you think, can you see yourself working that way in the future?
I don't know, man. It's like, I don't think too far ahead.
Yeah.
We'll see what the next record is going to be, when that's going to be.
And also, you just mentioned you've got Jacob singing on the album, and there's also Just Got Soto and Matt Levin, and also Elise Rid, I believe that's pronounced that correct. And why have you chose so many different singers rather than just one singer?
I don't know. It just came out that way. Really. I mean, I guess, you know, I've done records with, you know, I've been a band guy for so long, you know. Firewind records, and this, you know, the solo thing, the solo career just gave me the opportunity to just collaborate with different people. So this time I wanted to continue that, but as on the first record, but more like in a more close group of collaborators instead of having too many people on there. You know, obviously Matt's is one of the guys that I toured with a lot, and we wrote a lot of songs on the first record, so it was an obvious choice to continue working with him because we write really well together. Same for Jeff. You know, he's, you know, I wrote a song for his record, he wrote a song for my record last time around, so I just sent him a couple of riffs. I said, if you feel like doing any on any of those tracks, you know, one of them, he just did both of them, you know. And the thing with Jacob is that, you know, we started writing and then we were on a roll right after we finished the first album, and we had all these songs. And, you know, it's just people that are collaborate very quickly and very, you know, very fast and very easy.
So these are people that are close to your sort of close to your heart kind of thing, aren't they? Yeah. And I just mentioned, like you say, you've Just Got Soto and Matt Levin, but it's going out as a Gus G. But I'm sure there'll be a lot of people out there thinking, why can you guys get together and form a supergroup, a band?
I guess we could someday. I spoke to Jeff about that. I'm like, dude, we're kind of like sort of building a, you know, a back catalog together now. We got like one song that I wrote for your record. We have the song that was on my first record, and now these 2. And then, because he said, you know, let's do another one for, you know, for the future. I'm like, of course. So I said, you know, in a few years from now, we're gonna go out there and tour, you know, Gus and Jeff, and just play all the stuff that we wrote together from previous albums. You know, it could happen. Whatever.
See what's on the corner. And just to clarify to fans out there, and funny enough, somebody asked me today this question: is Firewind still a going concern?
Yeah. I mean, the band's still going. Yeah. I mean, not right now. It's not like nothing's happening right now. Obviously, we're busy with this, but you know, we are gonna make a comeback at some point and make the record. You know, so you know, for those worrying fans out there, you know, I'm not giving up on that.
Good. It's good to hear. And you just mentioned about you and Jeff and touring places. I noticed in September you're playing a gig in Alicante actually with Gus G and Soto, and obviously I'm sure you two will be on stage together at some point at that festival.
We're trying to put together a tour with both our bands, so let's see if that can happen.
All right.
We're gonna be doing I'm gonna be doing a show together at the Monsters of Rock Cruise in Miami next year as well, in the States. So yeah.
Fantastic.
But this is gonna be like, because Jeff has his own band. So
of course.
he's gonna have his own set list and all that, and I'm gonna have mine. So.
And when people come see Gus G as a live artist, what can fans expect?
Well, my shows are really a mixed bag right now at the moment. It's you know, I play stuff from the solo records, I play Firewind music, you know, I keep that alive. And then on the last tour I even added some Dream Evil material that I hadn't played for 12 years, you know. And I knew a lot of fans wanted me to play that stuff again. It went down great. And you know, we'll do like an Ozzy cover or something, or you never know, like sometimes I'll do like a Thin Lizzy cover or whatever, just whatever I feel like. And it's also a mixture of, you know, I do like a lot of instrumentals and a lot of
course, yeah. And who exactly is in the touring lineup?
It changes every time around. Like on the last tour that I did, I had Henning Basse, who's a great singer from Germany, and you know, before that, Mats did mainly the tours. And when I play the States, you know, Jeff has been the front man. So it really depends, you know. I use a couple of different bass players. Joe Nunes is my only steady drummer.
Yep.
You know, he's my Firewind bandmate, and kind of like, you know, staying exclusive, and you know, follows me everywhere around. So it's just a good, you know, it's just a good mix of friends and great musicians. You know, if somebody's not available because they got stuff going on, then it doesn't matter. I call somebody else. We do a tour, and you know, we're all friends and we all keep collaborating.
Is that something you enjoy doing, working with different musicians at different times?
Yeah, right now, I'm really happy doing that. There's no drama. Saves the drama from, oh, I can't do that, I can't do this. It doesn't matter. You know? You know, being a solo artist gives you the opportunity to just collaborate. And I kind of like, you know, it's also kind of cool, you know, fans, they don't know exactly, you know, who's going to be in the band. They know it's going to be somebody good, and it's going to be a good band, but they don't know exactly who's going to be singing or playing. You know? So, you know, there's, like I said, it saves a lot of drama, and, you know, you just remain friends with everybody, and it keeps things fresh too.
Yeah, totally, yes. It's good to hear, and it's amazing actually, because you've been with Ozzy Osbourne since 2009. And I think for a lot of people over here in England, it's easy to forget that you are still with Ozzy Osbourne, because
Ozzy, for a while.
Because Ozzy's been busy with Black Sabbath, but you have played with Ozzy this year in Brazil, Monsters of Rock Festival.
We were just there in April. I mean, what a tour that was! It was just short. It
was like Judas Priest, Motorhead.
Yeah, the Monsters of Rock tour, Ozzy, Priest, and Motorhead. I mean, come on.
So what does that?
Those legendary tours.
Exactly. What does it mean to you? Because obviously I've asked you before, what's it like being with Ozzy? But to be on the bill with Motorhead and Priest, obviously bands that you must be mad on as a child.
Oh yeah.
And to be sharing a bill, what did that mean to you that day in Brazil and Argentina?
You just feel you're being part of something historic going down, like for rock music. You know, you're playing the biggest festival, and then you know all these legends are there, and it's just amazing. I just like, you know, I was pinching myself every day. I'm like, wow, we're really here. This is happening. It was amazing.
Fantastic. Let's talk about your childhood into music. I believe your father sort of got you into rock music through his record collection. So
my dad got me. My dad really. You know, he didn't listen to a lot of rock music, mainly Greek music, but the rock and roll stuff he exposed me to was great. You know, it was like, you know, he taught me Pink Floyd, Santana, the Eagles, you know, stuff like that. It was great background. You know?
Was it any albums you sort of took away from your father's collection and put into yours without him knowing?
Totally. Yeah. You know, he only had a few rock vinyls, but one of them was Peter Frampton Comes Alive, and Hotel California by Eagles, and stuff like that. You know. I totally made those records my own later on, and you know, that was right before I got into the heavier stuff.
Yeah. But obviously, you just mentioned, you know, those records, and I know you're sort of a big fan of like Michael Schenker and all the old guitarists. But is there any new guitarists out there who you think are really good?
Well, a lot of them. There's a lot of great guitar players out there. I mean, I think Richie Faulkner is amazing. You know.
Yeah.
He's a buddy of mine. He's a guy that, you know, we were out there with Priest. You know, it's like in a similar position, like you know, one of the younger dudes entering the legendary band, and you know, big shoes to fill and all that stuff, you know, and he's just doing great for himself, you know, and that's inspiring to see from him. You know?
Funny enough, I just saw him only yesterday in Germany, actually.
Yesterday?
Yeah, Rocking Revere Festival. And he does a fantastic job. He just oozes confidence, and it's like he's been in the band for years.
Yes, exactly. It's amazing. So, yeah, totally, you know, that's one of the guys I think that really, you know, A-level out there, you know.
And obviously, with Ozzy, you got Tommy Cliftoff. I can't say his name. Cliftoff on drums, and obviously he gets a lot of flack from like the older Black Sabbath fans because of the Bill Ward debacle. But tell us more about Tommy as a drummer and a person.
Tommy's a simple guy. He likes to play drums, work out. You know, he's a very funny guy. He cracks us up, you know, on tour. You know, he's you know, definitely the spirit of the company. You know, he's that kind of guy. Very nice guy. And, he's half Greek.
That's why I couldn't pronounce the surname.
Yeah, he's one of the top rock drummers in the world. You know?
Yeah.
Very. He's you know, he deserves where he is at. You know?
Definitely.
Not only on this band, but at the call to Black Sabbath too. Yes.
So it's difficult shoes to fill. And did you see Black Sabbath yourself? Was you invite along to see the shows?
I did. I saw them twice. I saw the Download show in 2012.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
And I saw them 2 years ago in LA. They were phenomenal both times.
Fantastic. And what's the rest of your plans for this year?
I'm sorry?
What's the rest of the plans for this year?
Well, I mean, I have a few shows coming up, touring my solo record. I'm playing a few shows with Hell Yeah in Germany and Holland. Doing a few festivals in Europe and back home in Greece.
You've got quite a few dates in Greece, actually, haven't you?
Yeah. I'm surprised so many festivals came through, actually. And they're not all like heavy metal festivals. They're more like crossover, more like folk or pop or whatever. So it's going to be good to do that. I'm doing 2 shows with Ozzy in Mexico in August.
Wow.
And we're just trying to put like together some dates for the fall now, for my solo thing.
Yeah.
And, November going to Japan, Ozzy in France, for the Ozfest in Japan. So, you know, just trying to fill up the rest of the year with dates and stuff.
Well, you just mentioned sharing a bill with not always necessarily heavy metal ones, and that one I mentioned earlier, Now Canty. Bonnie Tyler's headlining that night.
That's going to be an interesting one.
That will be interesting, actually. Yeah, exactly, yeah. And that'd be interesting. If you played any like bills over the years with like artists that wouldn't be considered heavy metal? Have you played any like strange bills over the years?
Not that I can remember of. Really, mainly I've played in you know, in rock or metal festivals. We did one in Dortmund 3 years ago with Firewind, where there was like some. What were the bands on there? They were just some like indie bands, more like I don't even remember the names. Just indie, you know, British indie bands and stuff like that. It was like an all-around festival, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
You know, I wish I played more festivals like that. You know, not that there's anything wrong with a metal festival. That's always awesome. It's like one big family. You know? But it's good to play other types of festival lineups as well. I think it used to be more like that back in the older days.
It was in the 60s and 70s. It was very much like that. And in terms of the Beatles, there'd be like a comedian before them.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I remember Ozzy telling me like you would see Black Sabbath on a festival bill with, you know, Emerson, Lake and Palmer or whatever, you know, or Flower Power band or something.
I'll say in many respects, when you do play in front of an audience who don't know you as an artist or your music, that's the time for you to really shine and really work and win yourself some new fans.
Exactly, yeah. So I wish I could do some more of those, you know. I won't say no if I get festival invitations like that. You know?
Fantastic. Gus, it's been great talking to you. Sorry about the background noise, it's a bit busier here in the hotel today. The album, Brand New Revolution, is out on Century Media in, I think, July the 24th, right? Is that?
July 24th, yes.
Fantastic. We're looking forward to that, and all the best for the future. Thank you. Cheers.